Super duper doo, how are you when you get to the end of your day? Have you had an awesome day? Do you have a career or business that you love? So when you woke up this morning, you went, I can't wait to go to my job today. I love what I do. Do you feel energetic? Do you feel healthy? Do you feel fit? Do you feel strong? Are you on track to being financially free? And do you have great people in your life? Now, that's the reason that I'm here every day. That's what the Romax is about. That's what the Max College is the fundamentals of how to be healthy, fit and strong for the rest of your life and help other people to be the same. How to have a career or business that you love, how to be financially free, and how to have great people in your life, great communication skills, relationship skills. So if you want all of those to happen, is it possible that, yes, you need to be healthy, fit and strong, so you've got a brain that works effectively, but then you need to have a career that you love. And there are so many arguments about can you do what you want to do? Are you smart enough? Are you young enough? Do you have enough money? Do you have the right education? And I always get a little bit fascinated by all of those questions because there are so many people in the world that were told you're too tall, too short, too fat, too skinny, too old, too young, too inexperienced, you can't do it. And they went and did it anyway, whether it was a sport or they wanted to start a business or they had an invention or creation, they wanted to go and do something. So my first question about your career or business is always, are you doing what you love? And if you do what you love, isn't it more likely that you want to train, educate, learn, get better at what you do? The reason I'm asking those questions is I get asked on a regular basis, and today was a really interesting one. Somebody shared with me that somebody very important in their life had lost their job. They'd been made redundant or they'd been fired. Something had happened and they'd lost their job. And of course, the response from that person's family was, isn't that terrible? It was very unfair. We're going to go to unfair dismissal court. This is terrible. Now, there's a couple of things here, and this is an interesting situation where business owners, employers, HR managers, people who run businesses will often not tell you. So I'm going to share from my heart to yours, the inside of you of why somebody gets fired or why somebody's made redundant or why somebody loses their job. So the first thing is, if you want to have a great business, wouldn't you only employ people who are passionate about working in your business? Why would you employ somebody that just wanted a job? So that's a very complicated process, finding the right people. One of the riskiest things in business is to employ somebody. Sometimes business owners share with me, I just had to employ somebody, so I got this person. They've turned out to be really bad, and now it's really hard to get rid of them. So I want to put that into perspective. Nobody wants to get rid of you in their business if you're really good at what you do. If you're adding value to the business, if you're bringing customers and clients to the business, if you're a hard worker, if you follow the systems in the business, and obviously all of those would be great, but those people are very hard to find. Most business owners in fact, every business owner I've ever spoken to will share exactly the same thing. The toughest thing about business is finding the right people to work in the business. Unless you're a sole trader and it's only you, if you have to employ somebody, it's the riskiest thing to do. It's the toughest thing to do. It's the hardest thing to do. We've got so many employment laws now where to get rid of somebody is really hard. So to put the right person into your business is a very complicated process. So if you are on time, professional, follow the systems, add value to the business, bring money to the business, all of those things, again, I'm going to keep saying them, you're very valuable and nobody wants to lose you. So let's say the business is not doing well. The first people to go, the first people to get fired, the first people to be made redundant, the first people involved in a restructure will be the people that are not adding value to the business. It's a great opportunity for a lot of business owners to get rid of those people. So a great question to ask yourself if you've ever been fired. And one time in my life, I've never worked for anybody, but I made a massive mistake in my career and I had to pay the consequences. And I'll just quickly tell you the story. I was contracting to a business. I've never been employed by a business. And an opportunity came up for me to teach an exercise class for a celebrity group of people. And the person that owned the health club, I didn't own the club, I just managed the club and ran the club. They said we're having a staff meeting on this particular day, and it was the same day and time as the celebrity class that I was asked to teach. Now, I think I was 17 or 18 at the time. I was starstruck by, they want me to come and teach a class and they're so famous. So I chucked a sickie. That's an Australian expression for I called in sick even though I wasn't sick. Of course, the owners of the business found out that I wasn't sick. I'd gone to teach class in somebody else's business, and they said, we don't want anything to do with you anymore. Of course not. Of course I deserve to be chucked out of that business. And I'm sharing that very personally because if you don't add value to a business, if you're late, if you whinge, moan and complain, if you're not loyal, if you don't follow the systems, if you don't get on with the people in the business, you're not valuable to the business and the business wants to get rid of you. So if somebody comes to you and says, oh, I've lost my job, isn't it terrible, it's so unfair, that might be a question to ask. Why do you think you got fired? Why do you think they don't want you in the business anymore rather than, oh, they're terrible people for firing me? Now, there's lots of safety barriers for employees. We live in a world, in the Western world, where if you get fired, there's lots of things you can do to whinge, moan and complain about why you got fired. But I'm all about taking responsibility. And wouldn't it be nice if the people that lose their job, get fired, get made redundant, are involved in a restructure, would ask themselves the questions, or the question, why did they pick me? Why did they not want me anymore? And again, I've been involved in many businesses where the business is not going well, or that the business has gone broke altogether because that particular industry has failed. The people that run the business, the entrepreneurs, the owners of the business, the people that started the business in the first place, they're going to start another business. And they're going to need people in that business, and they want to take the great people from this business to the next business. That's just common sense, isn't it? They don't want to lose great people. They're too hard to find. So this is, again, my begging position. If you want to work for great people, you have to be a great person. If you don't want to lose your job, if you want job security, if you want to make sure that the thing that you're doing at the moment is something that you can keep doing and keep getting paid for, then you have to add value to the business. Because if the business doesn't go well, you'll be the first person to go if you're not adding value to the business. But that's a vicious cycle, isn't it? Because if you're not doing your job properly, if you're there because it's just a job, you're not going to be adding great value to the business, then the business might go broke. So it might not just be you that loses your job, it might be everybody that loses their job. And that's happened many times where people just average, plod along, do as much as they have to do to get paid, and then the whole thing falls apart and the people that need the job lose their job as well. I'm sharing this with you because so many people whinge, moan and complain about losing their job, or they whinge, moan and complain about not having the job that they like. Well, that's the ultimate solution, isn't it? Go and find something that you really love to do. When you're doing what you love, are you more likely to want to train, educate, learn, get better at what you do, which means you'll add more value to the business, which means you will become not just employable, but you'll become how do I put that? Nobody wants to fire you because they want to keep you. I think the ultimate position to be in, though, is where you don't have a boss. You work for yourself, which is, for me, I've worked in lots of people's businesses, but the business has never had control over me. That one experience that I had where I did the wrong thing and I screwed up, I learnt from my mistake and I've never done it again. And that's what I'm asking you to do too. Do what you love. Add massive value to the business because you keep getting better at it. And then doesn't matter what happens to the business, you will be valuable and they will want to keep you. You will have job security, financial security, long-term security. Nobody loses their job that's really good at it. Nobody loses their job if they're adding value to the business. And even if the business goes broke, the people that own the business will want to find an opportunity for you somewhere else. They might even recommend you to someone else. So do what you love. Keep getting better at it, add massive value to people's lives, and you will have a career or business that you love. Wouldn't that be awesome? So then you can sing at the end of the day, every day like I do. Super duper doo, how are you? Living my life to the max. Check out the snowy mountain. Woohoo!